In this video, I'm going to show you how to register as an individual volunteer on the DART platform. From the home page, start by navigating to Individual Registration and selecting the Volunteer button. Start with Step 1, About Volunteering. Under Are you affiliated with an agency, you can select whether or not you're personally affiliated with an agency that's already registered on the DART platform. For now, we'll select No, and we'll come back to this later. Under What type of work do you want to do, you can select the type of work that you're interested in. You can select as many of these options as you'd like. For example, I'll select sheltering, cleanup, and let's say Other. Under Are you located within the state, if you live in Maryland, you should select Yes. If not, select No, and then select your home state from the following drop-down menu. Under Which events are you responding to, select the COVID-19 response. Under Availability Status, select either Available for Deployment, Deployed, Temporarily Unavailable, or Permanently Unavailable. Available for deployment means that you're available to start taking on volunteer opportunities right now. Deployed means that you've already taken on a volunteer opportunity. Temporarily unavailable and permanently unavailable mean that you're no longer available to take on volunteer opportunities. Keep in mind, you can always come back and change these back to either available for deployment or deployed in the future. Next, select the first day when you'll be available to start volunteering. I'll select October the 20th. Then, select the last day and month that you think you'll be available to volunteer. Again, keep in mind you can always come back and change this if you decide that you can volunteer for a longer period of time. I'll select January 30th. Under Work Environment, you can answer the question, do you have any special conditions that volunteer supervisors need to be aware of? If you think you have any special needs, health or otherwise, that would be relevant for a volunteer supervisor to know, please enter it in the following field. Lastly on this page, as you can see in the blue text, certain volunteer opportunities may require a background check, and if a background check is required, you'll be notified. If you'd like, you can complete a background check at the end of this account registration process. If you'd like to do that, you can select Yes. Otherwise, if you don't want to complete a background check at this time, you can select No. In the future, if there's a volunteer opportunity that you'd like to fill and it requires a background check, you can always complete a background check then. Okay, let's scroll back up to the top and imagine that you are affiliated with an agency that's registered on the DART platform. So instead of No, I'll select Yes. And I'll be taken to a new screen. On this screen, I can select the organization that I'm affiliated with. For example, I personally am affiliated with Maryland VOAD, so I'll select Maryland VOAD. I can then enter the city and state where Maryland VOAD is located. After that, I can select Move to Step 2 at the bottom left. On this page, you'll enter your personal information. Start with your name, optionally your gender, your date of birth, then you have the option, if you'd like, to enter information for your emergency point of contact, including their name, phone number, and your relationship to them. For example, spouse, sibling, etc. On the right side of the page, enter your current address and contact information. You'll notice that as I start to enter my address information, a drop-down menu will appear. If you see your address in the drop-down menu, you can select it, and some address fields will automatically fill in. So as you can see, the city, state, and zip code automatically filled in once I selected my address from the drop-down menu. I'll just add the county. If your address doesn't appear in the drop-down menu, you can always type it in manually yourself. Then select Validate Address, and a green check mark will appear indicating that your address is valid. Next on this page, enter the email address that you'd like to use to log into the DART platform. Next, select the best phone number where you can be reached. And last, if you'd like, you have the option to select your preferred method of communication. I'll select Call. Once you've finished, navigate to Move to Step 3 on the bottom left-hand corner of the page and select the box. Next, you'll be brought to the Step 3 Skills page. This page is optional. If you'd like, you can select any skills that you have that you think would be relevant or could be relevant to your volunteer work from the drop-down menu. You can select as many or as few as you'd like. I'll select administrative and let's say amateur radio. If there's any additional information that you think would be useful for us to know about your skills, you can type them into the additional information box. Some volunteer skills, once selected, will prompt an additional box to appear. These boxes will have additional drop-down menu options that you can select if you'd like. I'll select Clerical. And let's say Telephone. Once that's done, select the Move to Step 4 box on the bottom left-hand corner to be brought to Step 4. On this page, you should download and read the Participant Release and Indemnity Agreement by selecting the Download button. Once you've read the Participant Release and Indemnity Agreement, you should just check the box here. Next, you can select the Terms of Use Agreement button to read the Terms of Use Agreement. And once you've read it, select the box here, I agree to the Terms of Use Agreement. Next, enter today's date and enter a passphrase you'd like to use to log into the DART platform. Keep in mind, this is a passphrase, not an individual word. For example, if my favorite baseball team is the Boston Red Sox and my lucky number is 135, I'll enter Boston space Red space Sox space 135. Then I'll enter it again. Boston space Red space Sox space 135. Make sure you remember your passphrase as you'll use it to log into the DART platform. Next, enter a security question and an answer. I'll make up a fictional pet. And select the CAPTCHA button. And of course, complete the fun CAPTCHA picture select process. Once you've done that, you can select the Submit button to complete your registration process. And now your registration is complete. You should check your email account for a link to validate your account. After doing so, you'll be able to log into the DART platform and access your volunteer account.